welcome back to the State Champs studio for another episode of Extra Innings. I'm your host, Elizabeth Kuhn, here with our baseball analyst, Mark Stroia. We're about halfway through the season. It is absolutely flying by.
It actually is. You know, we're starting to see some teams competing for spots in the league and in the division. And like I said, the intensity is picking up, and you know, we still have a lot of good baseball to be played in the month of May. So we'll see what happens as we get to the end of the year here.
Absolutely, and let's jump right into our first game. Allen Park took on Woodhaven. They got the win 7-4. It's always a good competitive one between these two teams.
Absolutely. That's usually the game downriver, Woodhaven and Allen Park. Woodhaven has been dominating lately, the downriver league, but Allen Park and Coach Glenn Gelver has solid teams year after year. Yeah, Woodhaven seems to be a little bit down this year, and Allen Park has another strong team as always. This game featured Evan Langolis for Woodhaven, had a good game at the plate, like he always does, but it wasn't enough as Allen Park went on to take the victory 7-4.
Next up, Byron Center took on Granville. Granville getting the win 7-2, and this one was all Granville right from the start.
Absolutely. Byron Center jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first on a double by Kelton Payne. Granville would answer in the bottom of the inning on a ground ball by Braden LaCroix, scoring Tyson Mann. Things stayed knotted until the bottom of the fourth, where Granville scored 3 more runs on some poor defense by Byron Center. Byron Center added a run in the 7th, but it wasn't enough, as Granville went on to take the win 7-2. Picking up the win for Granville was Justin LaCroix, who threw 5 innings, striking out 9, as Carson Smith came in for the last 2 innings to pick up the save.
And I mean, we've kind of talked about a little bit, like taking advantage of some of the mistakes that they might make on defense. You know, how important is that to just capitalize on those mistakes?
Yeah, you know, when you can capitalize on mistakes and take advantage of poor defense of the other team, you know, that's a big advantage. You know, a lot of times when you get out to an early lead, you know, that also helps. And, you know, teams got to play good defense. If you're not playing good defense, you know, you're probably not going to win most games. So.
Yeah, and we're getting to the point in the season where it all counts. So last up, Detroit Catholic Central took on Detroit Country Day. This one was an exciting one all around. Clay Harchie hitting that 3-run home run.
Yeah, you know, Country Day, they're number 10 in D2, faced off against Catholic Central, who's down a little bit this year. You know, they play great competition, game in and game out. They're a little bit off this year. Tyler Inge, the son of Brandon Inge of the old Detroit Tigers, was on the hill for Country Day. And he was helped by some really good defense in this game. Clay Harchie, one of the best catchers in the state, committed to John Hopkins, had a 3-run home run to secure the victory for Country Day.
We're going to step aside and send it to Lauren Plant, who sat down with the Milan head coach for this week's In the Dugout.
I see that you've had some guys go down to injury as of late. You know, what are the expectations for this year's squad? What's the makeup of this year's team?
We are loaded with seniors, a lot of leadership. The biggest thing we're dealing with, obviously, with the injuries right now, but the majority of this team was on that team last year that lost 2-1 in 8 innings to Grosse Seal in the regional championship.
Right.
And the reason we get that far, and the reason our team is so resilient this year, is if you look at our league. Over the course of the season, 4 of the 8 teams in our league have been ranked in Division II in the state.
Right.
You got New Boston, you got Airport, you got Riverview, and you've got us. We've all been ranked at 1 point, and we all can beat each other. Some of the competition in our league is just absolutely brutal, and it's only helping us. It's only going to help us as we go through the rest of the season. You know, we've got a doubleheader against Seaholm, who's ranked in D1. We've played Canton. We're going to play Plymouth Christian at the end of May, who's ranked in D4. Right. We're just, you know, we're making sure we play the good teams so that when we get to the districts in the region, much like last year, that's why we were 500.
Right.
Because we played so many big schools. And we want to prepare ourselves by seeing the best pitching. I mean, we saw Gavin Muzzolowski last week. He's one of the best pitchers in the state. Yeah. You know, if we can hang with him, we can hang with anybody.
To check out that full interview, just head on over to the State Champs YouTube page. All you need to do is search State Champs Net. All right, we want to give a huge shout out to University Liggett's head coach, Dan Cimini, on 500 career wins. He's just putting out such a great team year after year.
He actually does. Congratulations, Coach Cimini. They have a great program. They play tough competition for a smaller school. They're good year after year. I worked at his state final game in 2013, which was the last game at C.O. Brown Stadium before they moved the game to Michigan State, the state finals to Michigan State, and they won that game. And the program's just a class program. He's a good coach. He's great and fair to umpires, which we really appreciate. So congratulations, Coach Cimini.
May is Officials Appreciation Month, and one coach kind of went out of his way for you while you were working a game.
He did, actually, and we don't get this very often, so when we do, it's really appreciative as not only baseball umpires, but all officials. Last Friday, I had a game at the Legacy Center between Plymouth Canton and Tecumseh, and Canton's coach Brumshed at the plate meeting gave me and my partner a gift card from his team in the Plymouth Canton School District, so that was a very nice gesture. Like I said, we don't get that recognition very often, but that was something nice, so I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Brumshed and the Plymouth Canton Schools for that. Thank you very much. It was very, very kind of you.
And we want to say thank you to all officials, and we appreciate you very much. That's all we've got for this edition of Extra Innings. We've got some beautiful weather this week as we continue our trip to Michigan State.
Yeah, we have about a month left in the season, so the games are going to start heating up. The intensity is going to heat up. So we're going to see what's going to happen at the end here and who's going to make it down the street to Michigan State.
Absolutely, we're really excited about it. Make sure you guys tune in next week for another episode of Extra Innings.
State Champs Extra Innings is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic. Visit ltu.edu. Extra Innings is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud sponsor of the MHSAA. The Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. For information on awards, clinics, rankings, and this year's All-Star Games, visit mhsbca.org. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Who will be this year's award winners? Find out live June 5th, only on the State Champs Sports Network.